Very warm welcome. Very warm welcome to today's edition of Daily Wisdom from Bhagavad Gita. Happy Mother's Day to all of you. And we will take this opportunity to celebrate Mother's Day um, from a spiritual perspective as well. So, like we always do, and take inspiration from Bhagavad Gita and the amazing knowledge that Maharaj Swamiji has imparted us. So, we will build on that to go deeper into this topic as well. So, let me share my screen and we will get underway by invoking the blessings of God and Guru. So let me share my screen. We'll get started. I hope you're able to see my screen.
Yes, Nitinji.
Okay, so let's get started with our opening prayers. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Radhe Radhe, good morning, good evening to all of you. So let's get started. First of all, I wanted to wish everyone a very happy Mother's Day. And let's get started with today's session. Hope you all had a good celebration today and did get an opportunity to wish your mom. So let's get started. So I'm going to introduce a shloka today that will help us dwell upon this concept of Mother's Day. So I'm going to recite it and we'll take a few hands to get it going. Yad yad vibhuti sattvam Shrimadurjitameva va tad tad evavagachatvam mama tejunsha sambhavam. Okay, let's take a few hands. Wait, Sandhya.
Shyamji, I'll first take Shyamji. Radhe Radhe Shyamji.
Shyamji, Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. Yad yad vibhuti mat sattvam Shrimadurji meva va tad dev va gachatvam mam tejosha sambhavam. Radhe Radhe. I guess I
Very
missed it.
nice. Radhe Radhe. Thank you, Shyamji.
Arunji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe.
राधे राधे
Radhe
यत्
Radhe.
यद् विभूतिमत्सत्त्वं श्रीमद् ऊर्जितमेव वा तत्तद् एवावगच्छत्वं मम तेजोंशसम्भवम्.
Very nice. Thank you, Arun. Okay, let's take two more hands. See two.
Anita ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Yeah,
Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. Yad yad vibhutimatsatvam Shrimadurjitameva va taddevavagachatvam mama tejonsha sambhavam.
Very nice. Thank you,
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe. Radhe Radhe. Yes, Sandhya. Last but not the least, go ahead, please.
Yes, thank you. Yad yad vibhuti mat sattvam Shrimad urjitam eva va tat tat eva va gachatvam mama tejonsha sambhavam.
Very nice. Thank you. So let's get started. This is a 10.41 I have picked up for the occasion of Mother's Day. So in this shloka, Lord Krishna is saying, whatever you see as beautiful, glorious, or powerful, know it to spring from but a spark of my splendor. On the occasion of Mother's Day, of course, when you talk about all these qualities, they are present in abundance in a mother. And if you think about it, mother is a partner that God has chosen to bring forth nature, right? So it's not a small job to bring forth a nature and be a partner with God for that matter, right? It's a huge responsibility and a huge deal, right? So from that sense, it's a very special position to be in. Not everybody gets that, privilege, and a mother is entrusted by God to do that. So let's celebrate this occasion. Let's again, a very happy Mother's Day to all of you. Happy Mother's Day. Now, life does not come with a manual; it comes with a mother. We don't have a manual, and that is why God has created a mother. Okay. Now let's try to marvel this thing a little bit more, although we all appreciate what all our mothers have done for us. But let's try to put it in perspective a little bit more. So first of all, of course, it's not a manual. Your first guru itself is mother, because she imparts us all the initial lessons in our life. And in case of Abhimanyu, she was able to impart it even before he was born. Okay, we are not in that category as yet. At least in Kali Yuga, it's not possible. But just think of it: how much of influence does mother sanskars play on kids? And that is why a lot of conceiving mothers, they subscribe to religious stuff during that time period, so those sanskars can be imbibed as well. So what you think, what you eat, a lot of that has a bearing on the state of mind that the kid has as well. So let's move on. So the day we are born, we already owe 9 months of free boarding and lodging to our mother. Now, who will give you a free boarding and lodging here in today's world? Go to any motel and you'll understand, how much you'll be charged for that act itself, right? So you already owe it. This is how the very beginning of our life it happens. Mother does that, and that's the mechanism that Brahmaji, God has created of that umbilical cord is so what you call magical, that mother just has to eat and everything is provided for to the kid through that umbilical cord. Everything is taken care of. Such an amazing creation it is, right? And it's nothing short of a miracle if you simply think about it, how it is all orchestrated without any fuss at all. Just eat, everything is taken care of. And in fact, the babies, they say, when you start off, baby, they just have an imprints of on a it's a size of a, what you call that, a small, what you call a blueberry, even smaller than that. And then the imprints start coming on top of it, and then they start developing from that point onwards. So it's a marvel if you think deeply about it. And all that happens so perfectly. That is how the nature is designed. Then she carried us in her hand and lap for 2 years. Okay, that's another thing. You've gotten that right. So much to go for. Change our diapers 10 times a day, 7,000 times in 2 years. Okay, that is a rough calculation. We learned how to talk, how to walk, and our first lesson in ethics from our mother: to do the best, to be the best, and be successful in life. So mother is usually people's first guru as well. That much responsibility she's endowed with. And if you look at kid, they have that umbilical cord relationship. They do have a natural bonding with mother, even more than they would ever have with their father, just because of this special relationship that they have, right? And this is called an umbilical cord relationship. And this relationship comes closest to being the selfless love that we so much talk about in our sessions as well. That is the one which comes closest to that in this material world. And her strictness also with us was also a manifestation of her love and care for us. We need to understand that aspect as well, because at times mother has to be strict with us, and she did that. I mean, you get your ears pulled and get slapped as well, but that is also a manifestation of her love only, not that she desires anything ill or bad for us, right? So this is how special this relationship is. So moving on, continuing to build on this special and beautiful relationship, Now, for all of this, did we pay her anything? Absolutely nothing. Do we pay anything at all? No. Right? And why? What was it born out of? Did she expect anything in return for that? No, right? It was all because of her love for us, right? Purely out of love. And mother's love for child is such that, there used to be a trivia question. I remember while growing up, you'd ask that, okay, you know what? You ask a question, okay, if we are all sailing in a boat, and then, for you to reach a particular end, there's a hole in that boat, and for you to reach on a particular end, you need support. You can carry only two people, and you have your mother, father, and your answer. So you ask the mother, who will you throw off, the kid or the husband? Right, that trivia would come up. A mother would say, I would jump myself off. Okay, that much sacrifice she's willing to perform. In fact, within Johari window also that we talk about, right? A mother, a mother who may seem pretty meek and not so strong when it comes to saving her kid, that aspect of her personality can come to the fore, and where she's even willing to jump into a well to save her kid, or for that matter, even take on a poisonous snake or a tiger if she has to fend her kid. And this instinct is so much ingrained even in nature. If you go and try to hurt a puppy, to a dog, a female dog who has just given birth to puppies, you try to touch them and see how ferociously she is willing to defend them. This is how the motherly instinct is scripted in nature as well, which is a pretty strong emotion, right? So, like I said, we don't pay anything for a mother for the free lodging and boarding, and so many things that we get from her right from the word go, right from the our very inception itself. And now we have gotten annoyed with our mother, even fought with her when we should have said sorry. We all should have our instances around it, right? That happens. And it is said, I love this beautiful quote from Swamiji's lecture, that amount of time we should have been thankful to our mother for each occasion. If we had given her a flower, possibly all the flowers of the world would have gotten over. Okay, so that much gratitude we owe without mother having asked for anything at all, for all that the mother does for us. Okay, this is the de facto gratitude, um, which is we are indebted with for our mothers. And mother's love is the highest kind of love in this material realm, like I spoke about. Otherwise, all of us are selfish, and wherever we love, it's always for our self-interest. And motherly love is something that comes closest to the selfless love. So that is why this day is very special, and we need to fill ourselves with that sentiment of paying that gratitude, if nothing else, towards the mother. That feeling itself, um, feeling grateful itself, is a good feeling, because um, that draws a lot of grace as well, right? God has actually endowed that responsibility to the mother, and if we feel that, that also draws grace, rather than being ingrateful and say, okay, what's the big deal? Her mother did it for her, and so she's doing it for me, so what's the big deal? That is an attitude of being ingrateful. So it's important that we feel gratitude towards our mother. It also helps us to reflect that whatever we are today and wherever we are today, so many people have contributed towards it, not just your mother, starting with our mother, but she plays a paramount or a very important role in this journey. So in this world of selfish love, we look at mother's love as the finest example of selfless, caring, kindness, softness, of nurturing, the qualities we associate with God. And it is for this special reason that God has chosen a mother to bring forth nature and partner with him to get a new soul manifest in this world through mother's womb, and then partner with her to bring it forth and nurture in the formative or the initial years. So it's a great occasion to reflect on that thought, and again pay gratitude to God for having facilitated this process for us. All right. So with that said, now let's move on. So in this divine plan, while we offer our heartiest gratitude to the 2 billion mothers which are out there in this universe right now, in our universe, maybe a little more than 2 billion now, We also need to realize that there is another divine mother that we can express our appreciation and gratitude by striving to make our human life success. So the way we can repay her gratitude is by making our human life successful, and it is an opportunity to reflect on that as well. So we have a material mother that has been entrusted with this responsibility to bring us into this world at a bodily platform. And then going to Bhagavad Gita, you have two things, right? One is your paradharma, and then there is an aparadharma. So one is at the bodily level. Of course, we have to discharge that responsibilities towards your mother and have that deep sense of gratitude and appreciation for who we are today. And at the same time, it is important to have an understanding, an in-depth understanding of who's our spiritual mother, or at the soul level. That relationship is permanent. This relationship is a huge blessing given to us in this material world. When we are born as humans, but that relationship is permanent. This relationship is transient. You may have your mother as a, one soul, and then somebody else in another life, and then somebody else in another life, and somebody else. And each life we are indebted to that soul for, making us who we are today. We are indebted to that. But then a permanent association is always there, right? Our spiritual mother is the one whom we have a permanent relationship regardless of our life. And we are going to reflect on that as well, and see how we can build gratitude towards that sense as well, right? A lot of people, I mean, I remember one of the questions, like now, like in SMX, somebody had asked that the duty towards our material parents. Sometimes I feel bad and guilty that I'm not able to do enough because I'm at a, pretty far off from where they are. So how should I process that or take that emotion or sentiment? And then Swamiji had beautifully answered that question. He said, yeah, that is good actually. You feel it that way. You feel indebted to take care of them. But beyond a point, you have to fly your own journey. Okay. And parents have to understand that as well. But the fact is, the way you are feeling right now, the day you will understand your relationship with your spiritual parents, tear will automatically come down your eyes. So that is a forgotten relationship. We get, focused only at a bodily level, and be all and end all of everything is that is the relationship we consider, completely neglecting and forgetting our spiritual parents. Because once we understand that relationship, how selfless it has been, or one way it has been all along, that also will bring in tears into your eyes. So that is the state in spirituality that we need to strive for, because reviving that relationship, reviving that remembrance, is essentially the purpose of spirituality as well. Okay. So today we will take that opportunity to not only celebrate our material mother, but also contemplate upon who is our divine mother and what kind of a relationship we have with our divine mother. And then how does it fit in the grand scheme of things when we look at it from a perspective of God, our divine father itself. So we'll try to put it all together. So this is God in his personal form. Okay. And we spoke about, let's build on this topic. So we spoke about God having three energies: his external energy, which is Maya, then his marginal power, Jiva Shakti, who we are, the souls, and then he has a Swarup, or his internal power. This Swarupa Shakti is also called his Yogamaya Shakti. Okay. So please stop me wherever it's getting a little too much for you. So this Swarupa Shakti, or his internal energy, is actually Sat Chit Anand. It has three attributes: Sat, Chit, and Anand. And God is called Sachidanand because the Swarupa Shakti is Sat, Chit, and Anand. And God is called Sachidanand. In fact, if you call God, okay, Sachidanand. So this is enabled by his Sandhini Shakti, the Sat aspect of it, which is eternal. It is enabled by the Sandhini Shakti of God. We'll not get into too much detail on that. Just understand it for now. These are the three aspects of God. Now, the Chit aspect is enabled by Samvit Shakti of God. And the Anand aspect is enabled by Ladini Shakti of God. Okay, so these are the sources for each one of these attributes: Sandhini Shakti, Samvit Shakti, and Ladini Shakti. In fact, Sat emanates from Chit. So if you called God Chidanand, that is also fine. That is also a complete definition of God. So Sachidanand is a complete definition. Chidanand is also complete definition. And if you see, and Sat and Chit both come from Anand. So if you simply called Anand, Anand is God. Okay, so that is also a complete definition of God. If you simply call him Anand, that is perfectly fine. You don't need to add anything more to that. So that is the Anand, the essence of Anand is Hladini Shakti of God. Okay, it comes from Hladini Shakti. So like I said, Chidanand is also complete, because if you take the Sat aspect, that's fine, because Chit has Sat in it. And if you take Chit also, simply call God Anand, that is also fine. And this Anand comes from the Hladini Shakti. And this Shakti, the supreme, is supreme, and it has the power of divine bliss in it. And we talk about divine bliss of God. This Anand Shakti of God gives birth to the Chitta Shakti and Chitta Shakti Sat, right? This is how the hierarchy goes. So Anand is the supreme essence of God, right? When we say God is bliss, that is the Anand we talk about. Then you would say, then why are we talking about it? Because today we are talking about Mother's Day. Why did we bring? So let's see now, let's establish the link here. What is this Anand Shakti that we are talking about? Okay. So from there, now, first of all, I want to put a disclaimer. I don't have the credentials to talk about it. Okay. I've just heard it and just presenting it to you verbatim, because this is a pretty profound, esoteric, and confidential concept. It's like trying to explain a drop from the ocean of what Maharaj Ji and Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji philosophy, which has been explained to us by Swamiji. And because we have this opportunity, and I came across the lecture, so I'm trying to present it, but then it needs some credibility. But um, uh, even though I don't have it theoretically, at least we can discuss about it, right? So let's talk about it. Now, Krishna's power, we said Swarupa Shakti, Jiva Shakti, and Maya Shakti, right? We said that essence of Swarupa Shakti is, these are the three powers of God. So now this is Swarupa Shakti. We came to this point that essence of Swarupa Shakti is Haladini Shakti, which is divine bliss. Now, essence of Haladini Shakti is divine love. Essence of that is Mahabhav. And the personification of that is Sri Radharani. This is who our divine mother is. We'll try to look at it through another lens also. So just think about it. Is Swarupa Shakti is Yogamaya Shakti. So you can say Yogamaya Shakti, personification of that is Radharani. But if you want to go a little more technical, the essence of Swarupa Shakti is divine bliss. The essence of that is divine love. The essence of that is Mahabhav, and personification of that is Radharani. Okay, this is who our divine mother is. Okay, pretty profound concept, right? Let's try to understand it a little more simplified way. Okay, this is a bit of a technicalities here. Now, Radha Upanishad, this Radhika Upanishad says, Ye Yam Radhe, Radha Yashya Krishna. Whatever is Krishna, same is Radha. Whatever is Radha, same is Krishna. Both are same. So in this case, Shakti, Shaktiman, both are same. It's like milk and whiteness, inseparable. Okay, it's not like this is separate. Can you separate milk from whiteness? You cannot. Can you separate sweetness from sugar? You cannot. Can you separate wetness from water? You cannot. Can you separate heat and light from fire? You cannot. So it's something same. In this case, they are inseparable. However, God has an ability to separate it out if he needs to in Leelas. Okay, now we'll talk a little bit about that as well, but let's try to understand it from another Shakti Shaktiman concept here. So from let's try to break it down again. Our relationship with our divine mother. Okay, let's try to establish that. So this is our body, not us. And this is our soul. This is the soul is the Shakti of the gross body. Without soul, gross body is nothing, inert, dead matter. When somebody passes away, they say, take away this body in 2 hours, 2 days or 3 days, because after that it will start putrefying. Why? Because the Shakti has gone away. So this is straightforward, right? That Shakti of gross body is our soul. Now, our soul is energized by another super soul. Right? So this is soul. It is energized by soul, and soul is energized by Paramatma, super soul. You see the relationship? Soul also has something permeating it. It is Paramatma. And so our body's Atma is us. Our Atma's Atma is Paramatma. And then Paramatma's Atma is Radharani, is our soul. Okay, so this is the relationship. You understand? Okay, so this is the deep relationship that goes. So the soul of God himself is Radharani because God's Yogamaya power. So he's Atma's Atma. Okay, that is the hierarchy that gets established. So how close that relationship could be. Now, if you think about it from a hierarchical standpoint, just by being virtue of energizing the body, our body is serving the soul. Soul is craving happiness and body is forgotten about soul, but body is thinking of mind, intellect, and it is going for happiness. In a way, it is serving the soul. Why? Because soul is energizing it. So that relationship is automatically established. Because soul is serving, it is catering to the soul, right? It is serving the soul. It is trying to give it happiness in the best possible way it understands. Right now, it understands I am the body, and through senses and mind, I will give happiness to it. Okay, so that is what we are trying to correct. Now, soul is Paramatma. So then that means if our body is serving our soul, then our soul is getting energized by Paramatma. By virtue of getting energized, it should serve the Paramatma. So that relationship again we have forgotten. We say Jiver Swarup ho Nitya Krishna Das. It is again going by this hierarchy only. That means ideally our endeavor in human life should be to serve God. That is where spirituality comes in, where we first try to understand we are not this mind or body, we are the soul. And then we understand who is our God, and then we understand that we need to serve Him. And in serving, we shall get. And then going by this hierarchy, Paramatma has to serve its super soul, Yogamaya power. That hierarchy is also established, and that is there as well. That is what our scriptures tell us. So, what does God meditate upon? Have you wondered? God meditates upon the Radha Tattva. Scriptures say that. I'll talk about that a little bit more. But I hope you are able to appreciate this natural hierarchy that is established. Body has to serve the soul. Soul has to serve the super soul, and super soul automatically serves. But this relationship serving is different than in material world. It's not a master servant kind of a relationship, because when this hierarchy, spiritual hierarchy, is established, both want to serve each other. Okay, this is what they do in divine leelas. So from there, let's move on. So this is what happens. Okay, Mahabhav, Krishna holds Radharani's feet. Okay, he's serving. And Bhagavatam says, this is directly from Bhagavatam. No, it is from Radha Tapani Upanishad, Atharved. It says, we pay our obeisance to the Supreme Radharani, whose feet dust the ruler of universes, the ardent devotee of divine love, Nanda Nandan, which is Lord Krishna himself, smears upon his head, and in whose love he forgets his divine splendors, and to whom he has given himself away. Okay, that is how close this relationship is. Now, we first of all have to learn to worship God, serve God. And now think of it, God is serving his Yoga Maya power in divine Leelas. Now you may say why he has created divine, another personification of his Yogamaya power. He said, all right, this world will be boring, right? If they just have a father, in material world, they are used to dealing with mothers. So let me give them a mother as well. So let me take on the form of mother. See, let's say your personality is there, right? Your personality has a lot of shades. One of the shades, hypothetically, let's imagine, one part of your personality which is very pure, which is full of mercy, compassion, just love, you could distill and personify it. How nice that would be. We don't have that ability, God has it. So he said, okay, let me distill that personality and create a mother for them. And that is where Radha Tattva. It's both the same, but he has taken on two forms. Maharaj has explained Advitiya ek tattva hai, Radha Tattva Pradhan. But why is it Pradhan or main? Because it is the purest form God can offer anybody, the most compassionate and the most loving form that he's capable. Of course, he has to wear on a strict hat as well, as an administrator of the universe, the law of karma and stuff like that. But there's another aspect of him which he's able to create as an all compassion form in form of Radha. And that is why people, we do Radhe Radhe, right? What is the reason for that? We'll talk about that too. And what is the difference? When somebody says that, if you go to some people, they say we go directly to Krishna and you come through Radha. So what's the difference? Is there a difference, first of all? And if there is a difference, what is that difference? Let's talk about that. So let me before I pose that question, so let's understand this is the Radha, all compassionate, merciful form of Shakti of God. Okay, even if you go to the peak of Krishna Bhakti, you will get introduced to Radha Tattva. That is how esoteric it is. And then the Divine Mother can take on different forms. Kali, Parvati, Durga, Sita, Lakshmi. They are all Ansh of Radha Tattva only. If if she has to kill demons, she'll take on a form of Durga, Ansh avatar. And then if she has to kill somebody like Raktabij, she has to drink blood, Kali avatar. And then in another avatar, she can take on a form of Sita, Parvati, and all that stuff. They all are the same. It's not like they are different, but it's different moods or modes of our spiritual or divine mother. Right? Mother also has different moods. Sometimes she's in a loving mood, sometimes she's in a strict mood. So the Radha Tattva is all compassionate, loving form, and that is why it's a sweet form. Like Krishna has created his loving form where he just does Premdan and Golok Vihari Vrindavan, right? They say similarly, he's created Radha Tattva. Her only thing she does is all compassion and love only. Okay, provided you approach her with that. Which brings us to the question. See, Radha and Krishna are two aspects of one Supreme Lord. They are inseparable from each other. Okay. Just as milk and its whiteness, and there is no question of separating them. However, in their divine pastimes, to relish the bliss of divine love, they separate and again unite in inconceivably sweet ways. And it is not a material relationship like people would say, oh, they had an affair and why didn't they get married? I mean, they are inseparable. What's the point of even analyzing it that way? That brings us to question that is there any difference between direct worship of our Divine Father versus coming in through our Divine Mother? So let's have a bit of a discussion on that or anything related to what we have spoken about philosophically, this whole concept of Radha Tattva. Okay, couple of minutes.
So there's actually a question in the chat
Mhm.
first. So Prachi ji is saying there is a question from her child. What is Radha Rani's soul Shakti? That is, what does Radha Rani meditate upon?
Radharani meditates upon Krishna. She does Shaktiman and Shaktiman does it of Shakti. There's nothing. If Radharani would meditate upon something, that would be God, right? So that the buck stops at Krishna, Krishna's buck stops at Radha. There's nothing more than that.
In this context, I remember you telling us this beautiful Jhulan Leela, which I would really, really request you to cover sometime again, maybe today or I don't know. But
Right.
yeah.
So, yeah. So this master-servant relationship is very profound. So let me cover that Leela little, briefly today. So what happens is they both go for Jhulan. Okay. So Jhulan Leela is a very famous Leela which happens frequently in Golok Vrindavan, right? So they go for Jhulan. It's like a Jhula or a swing is laid out. And then let's say we have to go there. So what will we say? We'll say, okay, I'll go first. And we'll say, I'll go first because we want to enjoy. So same thing happens within Radha and Krishna also. Krishna says, I'll go first. And Radha says, no, I'll go first. And then they both adamant. They are stuck, stalemate. Who will go first? And then Radha changes her mind. She says, okay, you go first. And when she changes her mind, Krishna also changes his mind. He said, no, 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 you go first. And now they are stuck again. He said, you go first. He said, no, you go first. And they are stuck again. And then Krishna says, okay, I'll go first. And Radha says, no, I'll go first. And then again they are stuck. So first they, I'll go first. And then they said, okay, you go first. And then, okay, I'll go first. So basically they're getting into a stalemate. And Jhulan Leela is not unfolding. So then what happens? So things have to move forward, right? You cannot be stuck there. And then there are so many gopis out there who have come there to relish that Leela. And then it is hitting a stalemate, like you say in chess, it has hit a stalemate. What to do now? Then Vishakha comes forward, to resolve the stalemate. Now somebody has to be at that level of that eligibility or that qualification to tell what is going on in their heads. They should have that eligibility, and she's one of the Ashtamahasakhis. So she comes forward and say, okay, let me resolve it for you. The reason Krishna said, I'll go first is not because he wanted to enjoy, because he knew that Radha will get happiness more in serving him as opposed to taking the swing herself. And Radha is thinking the same, that Krishna's happiness is in serving me as opposed to enjoying himself. So both have taken that stance. I'll go first, I'll go first. Not for their happiness, but for the happiness of the other. But then, why did they change their mind? They change their mind. They say, okay, Krishna says, okay, Radha's happiness in is in giving me happiness. And she knows that my happiness is in giving her service. So you know, uh, let me first let her go only. So you see what I'm saying? So he understands that Radha is thinking, she wants to give Radha happiness, and he knows that Radha will be happy in giving him service. So now he said, okay, you go first and you go. Radha is thinking the same. So it's kind of an infinite loop both are stuck in. And then they understand and they said, Gopis say, okay, now because this is happening, why don't you both sit and we'll give you swing? Okay, so that stalemate gets resolved. Now, when the swing is happening, what is happening? Let's understand the thrill, how it is multiplying when nobody's seeking it for themselves. Now, Radha is getting happy that Krishna is happy. When gopis are swinging, right, both ways, Radha is happy that Krishna is happy. Krishna is happy because Radha is happy, right? Now, gopis are happy because both of them are happy, and both of them are more happy because gopis are happy. So they're not, none of them is happy for themselves, and at the same time, with every swing, the happiness is multiplying. So it's in giving, that is the kind of relationship they have. Okay, so it's a pretty deep concept. I heard it for the first time, I was like, wow, that means something. So this is the kind of relationship they have in divine realm, not like I want to have it, I want to enjoy, and kind of a thing. So this is how the Leela unfolds. Now, is there any difference between this thing? This is the question that I pose. Any more questions related to this before we get into this?
And there are no more questions in the chat, so we can take up the hands now. Samiran, Radhe Radhe.
So
Radhe
again,
Radhe.
quick thing, I wanted to again reiterate if you have any questions around this. See, we started with the our material mother. And so some people, we had a SMX going on, so joined late. So for material mother, of course, we have a lot of things to be grateful about, right? The lodging, boarding, everything that we got for 9 months, we didn't have to pay her at all. And she's our first guru as well, because God sent mother. Life doesn't have a manual, and so many things that even her strictness was a manifestation of her love for us. And she's the one who made us walk, talk, and everything. And it is purely because of love. And in the material world, this is the relationship that comes closest to being selfless, because it's an umbilical cord relationship. And if we were to give her flower for every gratitude, we would have this world will run out of flowers. Okay, that is how beautiful this relationship is. And then we said, let's take this opportunity to acknowledge and understand our spiritual mother as well, right? Which has been a one-sided relationship we have been trying to revive from our end. And express our gratitude to our spiritual mother as well. And then we establish that relationship, because this is the Sarupa Shakti of God. Sarup Shakti of God, the essence of that is Haladini Shakti. And then we establish the relationship that Anand is the essence of God. Through Anand comes Chit, and through Chit comes Sat. So God is Sachidanand, Chidanand, or Anand. All three are complete definitions. Now, the essence of Haladini Shakti is divine bliss, and essence of divine bliss is divine love. Essence of that is Mahabhav, and essence of that is the personified essence is Radharani. Now, God can extract and distill his purest form, which is all compassionate, all loving, all giving. We do not have that ability. God has it, and God probably said it's good to give these souls a mother also. Okay, father alone could be a little boring, and that's why he gave Radharani. And this relationship, we established that, our body serves our soul. Our Atma is us. Our Atma's Atma is Paramatma, and Paramatma's Atma is Radharani. And by virtue of that relationship, our body serving the soul, has to serve Paramatma, which we have forgotten, and Paramatma has to serves Divine Mother in divine realm. And that is where we said that, in Radhika Upanishad, Krishna holds her feet. And the meditation that Krishna does is on Radha's name. That is how beautiful this relationship is. And this is not an ordinary master-servant relationship. In this, both are willing and are willing to go extra yard to serve each other. and not seek for themselves. So with that said, we said, again, these are all the manifestation of our Divine Mother only. And this is the question that I posed. You have to give me a second. Continue on this. If you have any question, I'll be back in a second. Just give me a sec. I have to take a quick break. Go ahead, please, Sandhya.
Okay. Yeah, so first of all, please fill out the feedback tracker as well. I've shared the link. And I think in the meanwhile, I can actually do quickly announcements before we continue with this topic. So among the announcements, we have the yoga festival coming up. So that's the biggest ever yoga fest of Dallas. It's going to be from June 21st to 23rd at the Radhakrishna Temple. And it's also going to be broadcasted online. So please check out the details. After that, I hope you all are aware of the Radhakrishna Bhakti app. If not, check that out on Google Play or Apple App Store and download it. It's the free app which can be your companion in your journey, Bhakti journey. So don't miss out on all the things that it offers, including the Bhagavad Gita book at your fingertips. Okay, and then last but not the least is the announcement about spiritual retreat and family camp at the Radhakrishna Temple, which will be from July 4th to 10th. So anybody who can join in person, just book your tickets, plan your travel. We all here will be happy to host you here, and not to be missed opportunity. Otherwise, I think it will also be broadcasted online, maybe. So those who cannot come, even after putting their efforts, watch out for that. That's it. And please fill out the feedback tracker. And I think we can continue with this discussion if Nitinji is still not back. So I see 2 hands raised. Maybe we can get started and then Nitinji will join us. Yes, Samir and Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. Oof, today's very deep and very beautiful session. Like this topic, it looks pretty simple, but it is really, really deep in terms of Radharani's love. And for that matter, the question that Nitinji has put up is, what happens when we put chant when we go through Radha or direct to Krishna. So Krishna is like, no one can be more naughtier than him. He will like bother us left, right, and center. But there is a beautiful line or bhajan from Maharaji which says that Radhe Radhe bol sham bhaje chale aayenge. So this is something that Maharaji has put up a really nice bhajan, that why we should chant Radharani's name before like Krishna, or what is the essence of that. Yeah.
But
And also to add something, a few days ago I came across a video about what kind of love, was the level of love of Radharani for Krishna. That video was like this, that Radharani was watering Tulsi plant, and she was chanting her own name, Radha, Radha, Radha. Then Krishna comes and Krishna asks that you are watering Tulsi and you are chanting your own your own name. So what is the point? Why are you doing this? Then she says that if I chant Krishna, it will give me happiness. But if I chant Radha, I know it will give happiness to you. So that is the level of love that it's like it's power. We cannot even imagine that. So beautiful.
Yeah, even in that's good, Samiran, you brought about that. Even in the Mahabhav part of it, there are certain categories, like we say, right? A Jivatma can go till Kunjaras, I believe. Kunjaras, which you can't go beyond that. As a Jivatma, you cannot go beyond that. And then there is called something called Nikunjaras as well, which is reserved for Ashtamahasakis, those 8 special maidens or associates of Radharani. And beyond that, the seat is only reserved for Radharani because nobody can go there. It is only reserved for Radharani because the extent of virah that she feels for Krishna, they say that like the smoke has a haze around it, little bit of haze around it. And even that haze, even if that haze could manifest, right? Abhas of that virah that Radharani feels, if that abhas could translate, manifest itself, it will burn off the entire creation. That is how powerful it is. Okay, but of course she can control that. So she's the topmost devotee of Krishna, and Krishna, it says that the depth of Radharani's love for Krishna, and now it's very difficult to understand. Somebody has duplicated himself, and then how can they be loving itself? And when they're loving itself there, why don't they understand the depth of each other's love? But this is everything is possible in God's realm, right? So it said that even Krishna does not understand the depth of Radha's love for him. And in order to experience that, he takes on avatars at time, like he did in case of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, where with Radha's body and Krishna's soul, he wanted to experience what does that virah actually mean. So he wants to experience and relish that as well. But for us as devotees, even though Kunj is the maximum ras that we can achieve, but as part of our devotion, we can actually get to devour both the rasas, right? Like Krishna can relish the ras of Gaur ras, that is Radha's ras, and Radha can relish the ras of Krishna, which is called Sham ras. But as devotees, we can actually enjoy both Gaur ras plus Sham ras. That is the thing. And then the question is, what is the difference between approaching Krishna directly and approaching it via mother or via Radha? So the point here is we can probably get into that. It says that this is father. Now the way to father's heart, you see the heart of father is through the mother is sweeter and faster. Okay, this is how scripture says. So now I'll tell you the beauty of saying Radhe Radhe. Some people say, why do you say Radhe Radhe? Why simply don't say Krishna or Hari Om Tat Satya, anything for that matter, right? Now, the reason we say Radhe Radhe is, I'll tell you, Maharajji's was a Jagat Gurutam for a reason. When you reach the peak of Krishna Bhakti, okay, if you, let's say, you focus on Krishna Bhakti only, when you reach the peak of Krishna Bhakti, then you will be introduced to Shakti. Okay, they'll say that, okay, you have done the Shaktiman Upasana. Without doing the Shakti Upasana, it will not fructify. And then you have to bring Radha into the mix anyways. Maharajji brought it right from the word go. He said, okay, you start doing Radhe Radhe only. Right, when you do Radha, Krishna Bhakti is already covered in that. Okay, and then it's a faster, sweeter way to approach, because it is said that in when Krishna can be Nishthur at times, he has to govern this universe as well and take calls based on a person's karma and stuff like that. But when Radharani just twitches her eyebrows, he said, all right, okay, I'm willing to comply with whatever you say. That is the power of Radharani's love and the beauty of doing devotion through Radharani. It's very powerful and it is very sweet in that sense as well. Okay, so that is how it goes. So
And
Krishna is
just
like subservient to Radha in that sense. Yes, Nandya.
that very sweet incident when there was this insect which ended up coming and like was about to come under her feet, I guess, right? And
Okay, I think yeah, that's a story. Okay. Now the starting, there are different versions for that, but nevertheless, you will get an idea about it. It is said that once she lifted some insects who came under her feet or somewhere, right, in water. And when she lifted her, there were so many insects in her hand. And then she says that, hey, did I hurt you? Radharani said, did I hurt you? And then to make up for that, she says, okay, let me do one thing. Let me bless you with a human birth. And then she says, no, no, wait, wait. Let me not only bless you with human birth, but give you a guru as well. And then she said, no, 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 wait, wait, wait. Let me not only bless you with a human birth and give you a guru, but myself come as a guru for you. Okay, so all those three blessings were given to certain souls, and some of them are probably sitting in this session only, and us probably. Why are we getting a guru and probably Jagat Guru? But yeah, this is a beautiful story. So thanks for bringing that about as well.
yeah, just highlighting the causelessly merciful and the most compassionate ever uh, aspect of Radharani, right? Like we don't have to do anything, but she just keep gracing and blessing
She can only do grace. Right?
this. Yeah.
In other avatars, she may have to wear a administrative hat or being a strict mother, right? In Durga or any other avatars. But in Radha, the Rani's, she only does grace and causeless grace, nothing else. In fact, it is said that Within Golok Vrindavan also, that premise where Radha Krishna sit, it's at the center of the Golok in a lotus formation there, where Nitya Leela, eternal Leelas continue to take place between Radha and Krishna.
And on a lighter note, there is a comment from Kumarji. Sons can get more done through their mothers and daughters through their fathers.
Okay. In this case, both daughters and fathers can get more done through the mother only.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Any other questions related to this, or Radha Tattva you wanted to talk about or share something about? It's a very profound concept. See, who is a Radharani is not an easy question to answer, right? But Maharaj Ji has explained this tattva so beautifully and in such a simple language to us. But this concept grows on you. It's not a straightforward concept for sure, right? Most of the people will look at it from a mundane definition. Who was Radha? Was that a love interest of Krishna, and why didn't they get married, and was she older or younger? The point is, it is an eternal. It's Krishna himself. And in our Manvantar only, it is said that in one of the avatars, see, they could do divine leelas. They may choose to marry, they may not. Marriage is basically a material thing. They are eternally united. They are inseparable. But even in their divine leelas, in our Manvantar only, they got married in one of the leelas. And the Panditji who was the Panditji? Brahmaji himself. Okay, he was the Panditji for their marriage. So it can happen, it may not happen. We don't have to dwell too much on it. If you understand the Radha Tattva, you do Radhe Radhe, just understand the glory of this name, the fact that it is our spiritual mother, an eternal relationship that we have, and that mother is all compassionate. That's what we need to do for the sake of our devotion. And beyond that, there's no point in intellectualizing it too much. Yes, Pooja, you wanted to say something?
Radhe Radhe Pooja Di, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe Nitin Bhaiya.
Radhe.
As much as I'm feeling blessed and feeling so good about what you just mentioned, that we all are being graced by Radharani, I don't know whether this is an appropriate question or not, but how and why we all are, being graced by Radharani? Why just people like us? And how?
Why are we being graced by Radharani?
Anji. And how? Meaning, as in, I'm assuming, and I am sure I'm right here, that we all are being a part of this Bhagavad Gita class, getting information, getting knowledge about everything about Radharani, especially this session that you're conducting for us. But why is she gracing just us, not the entire world? Because
they got to see, I don't know. If you ask why us, there might be something we have done well, or we might have gotten lucky. I don't know. It's a causeless grace, right? But there could be tons of reasons for that. But it is a grace because think of it like in 7.5 billion people, how many would actually think about God or get that exposure or have those situations where they would even feel a need to explore this dimension in their life, right? And those of them who actually do, how many of them actually get the right knowledge and the right exposure? And those how many get this knowledge in a way that has been simplified to us by Maharaj Ji, get access to a guru in our life? So the proportion keeps on decreasing drastically. So if you look at from the law of proportions, we are extremely lucky people, handful of people, handful in relative sense, of course, it could run into thousands, who have gotten access to this knowledge. Now, why? It's a good question. We could ask her. Maybe some relation in the past, or something could have done, made it a priority, or something could be there. Or it could be a Kripa avatar where we got into the ambit because Maharaj Ji just liked something about your Antakaran. And he said, all right, I need to pick up this soul and start investing in it. I don't know what's the reason. If you ask me honestly, I always felt okay. I had no eligibility and I got snipped out for some reason. It's like a Black Friday sale getting picked up for no reason. But whatever the case may be, it's good. Now let's make the most of it.
most definitely, Nitin
Kripa
Bhaiya,
is, Kripa is there and all, but they need to be ready for it as well, right? See, it's like there was a child who had fought with his father and went off. And then the child, after a while, nothing happened and he came back and put a tent right, outside the city. And somebody said, your son is come out and he's probably needs your help. He might have forgotten you, but you are his father. Why don't you go and meet him? He said, that's fine, I'll go there, but then what is the guarantee he wants to come with me? So let him take one step and then I'll take the rest. So that is how God's think as well. He might be willing to do that and he might be doing that, but we may not be ready for it. We are like too busy hanging on to our unworthiness and the experiences we need in this life. So there are too many things to do it. And how many people would truly be interested in, exploring this or making it a priority or even trying to understand it? Not many are. But I would say let's make the most of this opportunity. For whatever reason we have hit this jackpot, is how I look at it.
Nitin Bhaiya, as much as I'm feeling grateful to you and this entire class and also feeling blessed by Radha Rani's grace, it also somewhere scares me that I hope I don't, make any mistakes where, I just don't want to make any mistakes here. And I know we all are, we all are a part of this materialistic world. We may end up doing some mistake or other, but it just scares me at times.
I get that, and it's a good fear in that sense because it keeps you honest and on track. But I would say God is all compassionate, all merciful. Once you made it a priority, and He will get you back. Right? He said that Guru, they do Yogakshema. If you have accepted Him as a Guru, you just keep praying to that. I will continue to make mistakes, but make sure you do the course correction for me because I'm incapable of doing that. Just accepting that will draw more grace. But if you have this kind of an pride that, what, I'm here and I can make it on my own from here on, then that may not be there. But it's a fear a lot of people have. Even I have that. What if it's like Lata Mangeshkar used to feel, what if this ability that she has been given is snatched away one day? And she would pray to God every time she would go to singing. So this is a good thing. This draws more of God's grace, but gradually this fear will subside and give way to faith that no, He's there. He's my protector and He'll take care of my best interests. So that gradually that fear should diminish over time and get replaced with a confidence and a faith. So take it that way.
Sure.
But it's
Thank
all
you.
Maharajji Swamiji's knowledge. I feel fortunate that I get to facilitate it. This seva has come, a beautiful seva. This platform is created by Swamiji for us. It's a huge opportunity for all of us. So in that sense, we should feel really grateful for what we are getting on a regular basis. So thank you, Pooja, for that.
Thank you, Nitin Bhaiya.
Yes, Tejas.
Yes, Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe, happy Mother's Day to everyone. When you brought up the Krishna and Krishna and Radha are the same, it reminded me of like Shiva's story. Like there's a story that goes around like when Brahma became tired of creating things. Like Shiva from his own body, he created Shakti, and then sounds similar to that. So I just wanted to kind of bring that up. Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, it also comes to the same fact that the soul also does not have any gender, right? It is like it doesn't have like male or female.
Yeah.
So I
Technically,
just thought of.
yeah, technically, I mean, yeah, soul doesn't have a gender, but if you were to look at it that way, there is only one Param Purush. No, if there is only one Param Purush, then everybody else is technically a non-Purush, which is female only, right? But yeah,
Right.
soul does not have a gender. But there was a story, right? It is said that when Mirabai was there, she went to meet Jeev Goswami. And then Jeev Goswami, when she goes to Vrindavan, when she says, I want to meet him, and he told his people that tell her that I don't meet ladies. Okay, so he had taken a vow not to meet ladies. So he said that message was relayed to Mirabai, and Mirabai said, okay, now I'm more intrigued or interested to meet this. Who is another Purush who has come? I knew of only one Purush, which is Krishna himself. So when he heard that answer, he understood is some realized person who has come here. She said, I know only one Purush. Who's the second Purush who has come here in Vrindavan? So the point is, soul doesn't have a gender, but then there is only one Purush. In that sense, we all are part of, we have to serve him to the best of our abilities, and in the process we'll get what all we need for our progress as well, spiritual journey as well, so spiritual growth as well. But good point,
That's why
Tejas.
they say Ardhanarishwara. Ardhanarishwar. That's what they use.
Ardhanarishwar, yeah.
Ardhanarishwar, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Shaktiman Sambandh is there, like Shiv Parvati, Lakshmi
Yeah.
Narayan, Sitaram, they're all both the same. It's like
All
Shakti
the same,
Shaktiman
yeah.
Sambandh, both the same, yeah. They've just manifested as two, yeah. Yes, Samiran, go ahead, please. And then we can take quickly 3 hands. It's 10 o'clock already. Maybe a bit of more discussion, 1 minute each, and then we can move to our next segment.
Yeah. Samiran, Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
Are there
Regarding Pooja, this question, I just wanted to share that today morning only I got a thought that भगवान को मानने वाले बहुत लोग हैं, but भगवान की मानने वाले बहुत कम हैं. So we can consider ourselves fortunate. Like भगवान को सुनने वाले बहुत हैं, भगवान की सुनने वाले बहुत बहुत हैं, हम कम, हम उनमें से हैं. And also one question that I wanted to ask about the slide that can you bring up that soul slide, soul, super soul? Yeah, in this slide, I just wanted to know that was there any time or birth in eternity that we have considered ourselves as souls and we were not in the body consciousness, and if we have come across as body consciousness in this life or past many lives, why is that? Like God wanted to play with us, like as he considered us as PlayStation or to us or something like that.
See, God gives us
So,
every act of God and saint is part of Kripa only. First, we have to understand that. Prayojan, anything that they do is part of Kripa only. In fact, it is said that the existence without a body is pretty miserable. You need that. Okay, you'll get an upgrade in your body as you progress in devotion. But then that Pret Yoni and all that Bhoot Ghos, they have that very miserable existence because without body, it's not a. So God gives you that for a reason. And it said that every time we die, then we are like, was this whole drama that I participate again and miss this opportunity? So in order to reduce that surprise that we have towards the end, we need to invest our time wisely. So we do get that feeling when finally we depart this body and we see ourselves lying there and say, okay, this was not me and this was this whole drama
yes, that's
that I
what
participated in.
when
But
yes,
we forget again when we come in this body. In fact, it is said even when we are inside mother's womb, God tells us about the true nature of the world and everything. And then we say, okay, just take me out of this darkness. And this is big darkness. And this time I'm going to break all the records in bhakti and complete my journey. We make all those promises to God. And then he again puts us back on this earth. And then we forget again. And again, we start participating in this drama until saints come and they remind us. And then again, we start getting back to that stage. So this happens every time, every lifetime. But when we come to this life again, the impressions of this life fall upon us, we forget, and then we continue on from where we had progressed spiritually in our previous life. And from that point onwards, we continue to progress. So let's say whatever God does is part of his mercy because he doesn't lose hope in us. It says whether you are interested in God or not, God is definitely interested in you. And it's for a reason he brings you with the hope that one day you would realize that supreme goal of life and become like him, where he can give you your true inheritance and make you like him one day. And he'll keep on giving you that opportunity until you perfect yourself and you are intellectually convinced that the true happiness lies in God only.
yes, that thing that you put up 2-3 class prior also, that when we die we see and the body and we then think that it was not me. That is something like touched me so much that I'm constantly contemplating. Yeah, Radhe Radhe.
Thank you, Samiran. Radhe Radhe. Yes, 3 more hands, a minute each, and then we can wrap it up.
And there's also a question in the chat.
Sure. Let's quickly wrap it up. I think we may not be able to do a devotional segment today. So maybe a minute each, and then we can wrap it up.
Okay, I'll just quickly read the question from Arunji. Is Radha Rani all the compassionate and merciful version of Krishna, or both are same merciful?
No, Krishna has distilled that. She's a Karun Karan. Like said, na, Krishna can be Nishthur at times, but Radharani can only do Kripa. Okay, Krishna will say, no, this soul has done this, and he needs to be, taken to the course of law of karma and stuff. And Radharani will just say, really? Krishna will say, okay, whatever you say. So, I mean, at least that's what I've heard in Leelas. But it is said Radharani is more merciful than Krishna himself because Krishna has to take care of administration as well, right? So he can play by the rules at times. But Radharani is all compassionate and merciful. But the precondition is, of course, you have to approach her with that. Right? Without that, it will not work like that. Yeah. Okay, yes, Anita ji.
Anita ji, Radhe Radhe.
Yeah, Radhe Radhe. Like Nitinji, in many of the saints from South India and Maharashtra, like Sant Tukaram, Mirabai, Kanakadas and Purandaradas, the list goes on. There in their life, there is no picture of Radharani. So how could you explain that?
There is no picture of Radharani. Were they Krishna Bhakts?
Yeah, only Krishna Bhakts.
Okay, possibly they are Krishna Bhakts. Then maybe their guru would have told now do the bhakti of Shakti later on, or maybe they continued that. I don't know the answer. You can ask Swamiji about that. But the point is, anybody who progresses in Krishna Bhakti, Radha Tattva has to get introduced in some form or manner at some stage for sure, because both are inseparable. And Shakti Shaktiman Sambandh is Abhed. They are indifferent from, I mean, you can't differentiate that basically. And then even when you are worshipping Shaktiman, the Shakti has to get introduced at some point in time, is what my understanding. But you can ask this to Swamiji. If there are precedents of saints who have just limited their devotion to Krishna himself. If you conclusively know that, I think it would be a quite good question to ask Swamiji.
Yeah, because that's a very evident example, even from the recent ages that we can see, like Tukaram, Sakubai, like so
ask
many
Swamiji.
are there.
Maybe an
Yeah,
SMX question.
I'll make sure that
Yes.
I ask. Thank you so much, Radha.
Radhe Radhe. Yes, Pratusha.
Yes, Radhe Radhe, Pradusha Di. Yeah.
Radhe Radhe. Yeah,
Radhe
Radhe
Radhe.
Radhe everyone. Radhe Radhe Sanjay Nitin sir. Actually, the thing was when I got to know about Radha Rani through Nitin sir's class, it was just organic. Okay, fine, I am going to pray to her. No doubt, nothing. I was just there, and it just grew naturally. So, coming to the Pujaji's question, why? I really don't know. We just get hooked on, maybe. And the second part of the question is being afraid of not getting the graces. I've read an article that Sandraji shared with me earlier where the Hladini Shakti expands herself in the spiritual realm and then comes into the material realm as the happinesses that conditioned soul experiences. And the happiness that conditioned souls experiences, like, when we are kind to others, when we are humble to others, all those qualities, if we are able to, the samskars that if we are able to put into us, I think this grace will be constant. We don't have to get afraid that she's not looking at us.
Yep. Good point. Thank you, Pratusha. Okay, Kumarji, the last one, and super patient. I'm saying Pati. Okay, yeah. Krishna is the patis of our patis. He's called Jagatpati. Okay, so there are bhajans, Jagatpati they're called. So he's the pati of the entire Jagat. Yes, Kumarji. Last one for the day, and then we wrap up.
Jai Shri Ram, Jai Hanuman. So today's Mother's Day. I wish all mothers a very happy Mother's Day. Actually, every day is a Mother's Day. There is a saying, God could not be physically in all places, so he created mothers. So mothers are so special for everyone. I know, right? Anyone, very few in the world, right, will say that their mother were not good, right? So they always have such a beautiful feeling of mother. So just want to wish that. So on Pujaji's question, I had this. We are all protected by God. The whole world is protected. It's just that when we come into this journey, we start realizing that. And so that puts us at peace of mind, that, hey, because, nothing is certain in this world, right? Tomorrow, next minute, something could happen. So to know that we are really protected by God is a great feeling. It doesn't come easily. Even in the journey, you need to go a certain stage till you get that feeling. And will we make mistakes? Absolutely. We'll make a lot of mistakes on our journey. But then once we realize it's a mistake, you just say, ask God for forgiveness and not repeat it, right? That's the main thing. We cannot keep repeating it and say, sorry, God, each time. So I would just say that. And then, again, my own example, just want to say that, whenever I get something bad and thought in my head, immediately I say, Jai Shri Ram. And when Ram is there, you cannot get a bad thought. He just gets removed. So that is one tip I would just like to give. Thank you. Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Shri Ram. Okay, Ajit ji, real quick. 60 seconds.
Radhe Radhe.
Actually, to add Kumar's description for the mother, what is special about the mother? That we take birth from mother only and specific biological mother, but we can die anywhere by any means. So mother has got a very special character, importance, and tattva as well. Radhe Radhe.
That is true. So thank you. That's a segue. So happy Mother's Day to everyone and to all the mothers as well. And hope you enjoyed the discussion on our spiritual mother as well. And stay blessed, stay devotional. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. We'll continue on Bhagavad Gita topic, the next shloka that we are going to introduce, and some tools as well that Dhruval is going to introduce tomorrow. So we will catch up again. I know we went a little over today. So Radhe Radhe, good night, good day from my side. Stay blessed and have a wonderful rest of your evening and rest of your day. Thank you.
So yeah, thank you, Nitinji, for another beautiful, beautiful session. And Radhe Radhe, everyone. See you all tomorrow.
See you all tomorrow.